Okay, good morning students. Today we are discussing about the chapter 1, that is the basis of the Python programming. We already discussed in our online classes. So let's start with the Python basis. Okay. Actually, what is a Python? That means it's a general purpose programming language. That is general purpose high level programming language. Who is the inventor of Python? That means who is the inventor? Guido van Rossum in 1919. He is the inventor of Python. It is based upon two basic programming languages. One of the basic programming languages is BASIC and Modular Tree. Based upon this language, Python is developing based upon these two languages. It is very simple language. All the beginners and developers can easy to understand its syntax. Syntax is very easy to understand. So today we all take this Python in our programming languages. Comparing with other programming languages like C, C++, Python is very easy to understand. So it's a high level programming language and is invented by Guido van Rossum in 1990s and is mainly used for, what is the purpose, what is the usefulness of Python? Python means it is developing for software development, web development. All this basis of Python is developing for the purpose of software development, developing the web, that is client server side web. We have to create a system scripting. For mathematics, it is used as the basis of Python. It is used for software development, web development, system scripting and mathematics. But it is very simple. So all the programmers nowadays use this programming language. That is the basis. All the beginners and developers can easy to understand because of the syntax is very simple to understand. Very simple. Next is tokens in Python. We already discussed in the last class what is a token. Token means what? It is smallest individual unit in Python programming is called as token. Token is also called as lexical unit. That is each smallest unit in our Python program is called as tokens. Tokens we already discussed. That is also called as lexical unit. Token is also called as lexical unit. And the main purpose of Python programming comparing with other is it is not a compiler, it is an interpreter language. Python is an interpreted language. That means line by line execution. Each line should be executed. But in the case of a compiler, you have to write all program, then only you can compile. Here, but in the case of Python, we have to run each line by line. So it is an interpreted language. Token means it is the smallest unit in a program is called as token. So it is also called as lexical unit. There are different types of tokens we can see. Keywords, literals, identifiers, punctuators and operators are the different types of tokens. Keywords, literals, identifiers, punctuators and operators are the different types of tokens. It is the smallest unit in your program. First one is keywords. Keywords means actually keyword is what? It is already a built-in word, that is predefined words or reserved words is keywords. That is already set in your Python built-in function. That is keywords means it is already predefined one, predefined or reserved words. We cannot change its value. It is for purpose of, it's the main purpose of specific task. For a specific task you have to done in the program, we use this keyword. Its word does not change its meaning. It is already predefined in your Python library. That is termed as keywords. We cannot change its name. Here we can see that keywords, identifiers, literal, operators and punctuators are the different types of tokens. Let's see an example. Here a small program we can see that simple Python program, that is, here we can see for I in range. We have to identify which are the keywords, which are the identifiers, literals and operators, punctuators in this program. You have to identify. Here for I in range 1 to 10. For loop I in range 1 to 10 means I's value is coming from 1 to 10. For the first executions, ith value is, it is a variable value starting from 1 to 10. For first loop, I's value is 1. I's value is 1 up to 9. Here the number of elements is 10, that is n minus 1 elements you have to check. So its first value is 1. Then enter to the loop, then check if that 1 mod 2 not equal to 0. 1 mod 2 means if the remainder is not equal to 0, you have to print as that value, print I. That means your value is 1, 1 mod 2 not equal to 0. That is correct. 1 mod 2 not equal to 0. Its remainder is not 0, its value is 1. So you have to print that value. So you get the output as 1. Then going to the next loop, then the value of I is 2. Then check if 2 mod 2 not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0 means it is 0. So it does not print I. So it's print only the odd values should be printed in this program. Here we can see that odd values is printed in this program. Okay, understand? Here you have to find out the odd numbers between 1 to 10. That is the program here. You can understand. For I in value range from 1 to 10. That value of I is 1 at the first time, and then enter in this here, enter in the loop. If 1 mod 2 not equal to 0, yes, it is correct. 1 mod 2 not equal to 0. That's value is 1 itself, so you have to print that value. Print I means you have to value print is 1. Then come that if now the value of I is 2. Then check if 2 mod 2 not equal to 0. No, 2 mod 2 means 2 divided by 2, you get the remainder as 0. So it does not print here. Print I means does not print. So coming to the next loop. Now the value of I is 3. 3 mod 2 not equal to 0. Yes, it is correct. 3 mod 2. 3 divided by 2, you get the remainder. So here we can see that if 3 mod 2 not equal to 0, so it is print. So if we get the value as 1, 3. You have to continue these loops up to 9. Up to 9. That is this program. So we get the odd numbers at the output. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You get the output in that format. Okay. In this program, you have to identify the tokens in the program. Which are the tokens? Different types of tokens you can see. We already studied. Tokens means different types of tokens, that is keywords, identifiers, literals, punctuators and operators are the different types of tokens. You have to identify these. Where it is, which are the keywords here. Find out the keywords in this program. Find out the literals, identifiers, operators and punctuators you have to notice. Here keywords means reserved means. That does not change in your program. That is already set in your Python built-in programs. That is already built in your Python library. Okay, keywords. Here keywords are 4. 4 is a keyword. That meaning does not change in your program. In is a keyword. Then if is a keyword. These 3 are keywords in your program. That meaning does not change. That means it is already reserved in your Python library. That is built in. Next is identifiers. Identifiers means names that is given to a variable, functions, objects, class. It's a name. Identifier means a name that is given to a program. That may be a variable, function, object or a class. Here you have to identify the identifiers in this program. Identifiers means just variables. Which are the variables here? I is a variable. That value has to be changed from 1 to 10. I is the variable. I is the name itself. That means I is the variable in this program. So its value is same. We have to assign the value to the variable. I's first value is 1, then 2, then incrementing in the incremented up to 10 it should be increment. Then we have to find the literals. Literals means constant values. Literals means constant. Whether it is constant values in this program. Constant means does not change. Here we can see that 1 and 10 and 0 are the constant values in this program. Which all are the constant values in the program means that is called as literals. That is 1, 10 and 0 are the constant values in this program. That value does not change. That is fixed. That value should be fixed in this program. So that term is called as literals. The value does not change. Then another token is operators. Operators, different types of operators in Python. That is arithmetic operators, then identity operators, membership operators, assignment operators. Here we can see one of the operators, that is plus, equal to symbols are operators. That is arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are plus, minus, division and modulus are the arithmetic operators. Floor division, these all are arithmetic operators. We can see that here relational also, operator also included here. This plus sign means arithmetic operator. Here there is no plus sign, here is modulus. That means remainder of the program. Remainder, if you want to find the remainder of the program, you have to use modulus symbol. Modulus symbol. Here we can see modulus symbol and equal to are the operators in the program. This is an arithmetic operator and this is an assignment operator. Equal to is assignment or relational operator also included in equal to case. Next, we have to find the punctuators. Punctuators means symbols. Symbols, which are the symbols used in this program? Which all are the symbols? Here we can see that colon is a symbol. Colon is a symbol here. So, not equal to, this is not equal to, that is an operator, relational operator, and here the punctuator is symbols that are used in a program. That here we can see that colon is the symbol in this program. Okay, clear? Is it clear for you? Okay, these are the tokens, different types of tokens in a program. Keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators are the different keywords. Different tokens, not keywords. Next, identifiers. Keywords means it is a reserved word, that is a predefined one that does not change its meaning. Next, Python identifiers. Identifiers means names given to a part of names that are given to a function, variable, classes or objects. There is some rules we have to follow. Identifier forming. When we are forming an identifier, some rules we have to follow. What are the rules we can discuss? First one is, it is a combinations of letters, alphabets, digits and a special symbol underscore. It's a combinations of alphabets, digits and a special symbol underscore. Next rule is, the first character of the identifier is a letter or an underscore. The first character. When we put an identifier name, its first character should be a letter or an underscore, but does not use the digit as first letter. Okay, does not use digit as the first letter. Next one is, Python is a case sensitive language, so uppercase and lowercase are treated as differently. Uppercase letters and lowercase letters are treated as differently. So this is another rule of identifier. And fourth one, so digits starting. So we can use the digits also after the first character. We can use the digit also. For example, let A1, that is an identifier. Okay, variable A1. If 1 is not possible in the case of an identifier. So starting with an alphabet or underscore is okay. But digit does not taken as first character. So its digits from 0 to 9, it's a combination of 0 to 9 we can take. it must not be a keyword. That means keyword is always a reserved word. We cannot use an identifier. So it is not a keyword. It must not be a keyword. Next one is no special characters we can include. Only underscore symbol can be included as identifier name. And the last point is spaces are not allowed between that name. Spaces are not allowed. These are the main rules when we define a identifier. So look, these are the main rules when we create an identifier. So it's a name itself given for a variable name, whether it's a function name, whether it's an object, whether it's a class, we have to follow these rules. Next is, you have to find out some valid. Here we can see that some valid identifiers and invalid identifiers. Valid means we can use first characters, combinations of characters, uppercase and lowercase we can use. It is treated as differently. Grade pay, here we can see that grade pay is in capital letters and it is in small letters and combinations of uppercase and lowercase, but it is treated as differently because it is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive. It is treated as differently. Name should be different here in the case of identifier. So you have to follow the rule also. These two are valid. Here we can see underscore is married. That is possible. That is we can start with a character or an underscore. Let's not start with a digit. Here we can see invalid identifiers. It is not valid identifiers because here hyphen is using, so it is invalid identifier. Then if means it is a keyword. When we follow the rule, if means it is a keyword, it does not as an identifier. Then next identifier is 12 underscore. That means 12 is a digit. First character should be digit, so it is not considered as a identifier. Considered as an identifier. Next is roll space numbers. Space is not allowed in identifier, so it is also an invalid identifiers. Next is literals. Literal means constant values is called as literals. Python literals means it is a fixed value. That value does not change. We have to see in our program, that is for I in range 1 to 10 means here 1 and 10 are the fixed value. That value does not change. That is called as literals. That is constant or a fixed value is termed as literals. There are different types of literals we can see. Here Boolean, one of the type is Boolean, numeric, string, special characters are the main different types of literals that we can study in our Python program. Literals are in different types, string literals, then Boolean literals, then numeric literals, then special literals, punctuators, everything you have to see. First one is string literals. That means, string means what? It is a combination or collections or sequence of characters is termed as strings in a program. Strings means collections of characters is termed as, or sequence of characters is termed as strings. In the case of string literals, string should be entered in single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. String should be written in single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. Is a collections of characters that should be enclosed within a single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. There are different types, two different types of string literals, that is single line and multi-line string literals. Single line string literals and multi-line string literals. First one is single line literals. Single line literal means what? Only the string must terminate in one line. That is termed as single line string literal. That string should be terminated in the same line. On the one line it should be terminated. That is termed as string single line literals. Here we can see an example here. Here Python. It is terminated in the same line. It is entered in, enclosed in double quotes. This is a string. This is a string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not a digit. It is considered as string. Because of that, it is enclosed with a single quotes. When a number or a digit is enclosed with single quotes, it is considered as a string. Everything is terminated on the same line, so it is termed as single line string literals. Next is multi-line literals. Multi-line string. Multi-line string means to store the string in multiple lines. We can see in this format. When we store the string in multiple lines, multi-line string, we can see an example. Here multiple lines are used in double quotes. So by using a multiple line, we have to use slash, backslash we have to. By adding a backslash for at the end of the each line, we have to use a backslash. We have to put a backslash here. Okay. When in the case of a multi-line string, we have to put a backslash at the end of the normal string. Then we get the output here. Here we can use that triple quotes. Strings are entered in triple quotes. That is also in multiple lines. You get the output in the format of multiple lines. Here we does not use a backslash at the end of the each line. For a double quotes, we have to put a backslash at the end of the each line. But here, in the case of a triple, string is enclosed in triple quotes, it does not include a backslash. Next is size of the string you have to calculate. You have to calculate the size of the string. Here my name is Neena means the string characters you have to count. N-double-E-N-A. That means 5 characters in that string. So its count is 5. So size of the string is 5. You have to calculate count the number of characters in that string. That is termed as size of the string. Size you have to count the characters in the string is termed as size of the characters. So there is a function that is using, that is length of string. You given length of a string function, one of the function name length of string, you get the count number of characters in that string. Here length of A, B, C means here you have to calculate or count how many characters are here in that string. Here we can see 1, 2, 3. So you get the count as 3 is the size of the string A, B, C. Here we can see that this is an escape sequence. Here 2 escape sequence we can see that, but it is considered only 1 length. Only escape sequence should be counted as 1 size. 1 size. So its value is 1. Here A, B, C. A, B, C means how many counts are there? First 1. Next we can see that numeric literals. Numeric literal means what? Number itself is termed as numerical literals. That is first is integer literals. Integer literal means integer's value. That is decimal value, octal value and hexa values is termed as integer literals. First one is it contains at least 1 digit and does not contain decimal point. That is termed as integer. Integer means there is no decimal points. There is no fractional part in the case of a integer literal. Here there is digits. It is a combination of digits. No, it is just not considered a fractional part. There are different types of integers we can see. First one is decimal. Decimal means normal values is termed as decimal values. 1, 2, 3 positive or negative values be termed as decimal values. Positive, negative values. Minus 15 plus 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our normal values is termed as decimal, positive and negative symbols. And octal means you have to start from a simple 0 or 0 or. Starting with 0 or then a digit. We can see that 0 or following that way, that is termed as octal values. That means 8. Octal means 8. Its value from 0 to 7. Octal means its value coming from 0 to 7. So its value size is 8 is octal means 8. Next is hexadecimal. Hexa means 16. Hexa means 16. So it starts from 0x. We have to follow x from 0. 0 is 4. After that we have to follow the 0 is x. Here we can see that num is equal to 0xf means your digit is starting from 0 to 9. After 9 we given the 10th value as a. Then 11 we given as b up to 60. 60 means your value is f. A, B, C, D, E, F. F's value is 15. So hexa means value 60. So its range coming from 0 to 15. And 15 value is termed as F. 0 to 9 normal digits. Then we given 10 in the format of A, 11 in the format of B, 12 in the format of C, 13 in the format of D, E in the format of 14 and F in the format of 15. So while we given as 0xf, you get the output as 15, value 15. So its range starts from 0 to 15. 0 to 9 is normal digits. Then 10 we assigned as A, like that way F is assigned as 15. When we given a variable num is equal to 0xf means that value is assigning to a variable num. That value is assigning to a variable num. So its value become printed as 15. So its value is printed as 15. F means value 15. A means 10. If we given as 0xa, you get the output as 10. When we print num means you get the output in the format of 10, value 10. If it is 0xb means you get the output as, when we print num, that value is assigning to a variable num. When we print this num, you get the value as 11. When we given 0xb means you get the value as 11. Okay, understand? Next is floating point literals. Floating point literal means first we see the numeric literals, then we see floating point, that means real values. Decimal parts is termed as floating point literals. Decimal values, that is termed as floating point literals. Next is fractional form, that is signed or unsigned, that is positive or negative values within the form of decimal point. That is 12.5 minus 15.8. Fractional values is termed as floating point value. Here fractional form, that is positive or negative values, that is 12.0 is a decimal one, that is a floating point value. Then minus 15.86, that is a minus negative 15.86 is also a 15.86 is also a floating point value. So unsigned means signed and unsigned combinations are possible in this case. Signed and unsigned means positive and negative values is termed as signed and unsigned. Exponent means raised to values, also we can use raised to values. Complex numbers means a plus ij format, that means imaginary part you have to calculate. By this way floating points also we have to consider. Next, Boolean means how it contains two values, that is true or false values is termed as Boolean values, that is true or false values, only two values, positive 1 and 0. We consider as true means value 1, false means value 0, that is termed as Boolean literals. Here we can see an example. Is married equal to true means you have to find the type of this variable. Is married is the variable name that we assign that is true. That means it's a Boolean value. So we have to find the data type of this variable. Its type you have to calculate it. That means data type of this variable you have to find. So we given by type of is married, you get the value as Boolean. Bool is, you get the output as bool. You get the output in the format of Boolean values. That is only two values, true or false. That means 0 and 1. True means 1 and false means 0. Next literal is special none. None means no value. None means no value. It indicates absence of a value is termed as none. None. Python has a special literal that is termed as none. There is the absence of value is called as none. Here there is a variable called as, here the variable name is salary. We have to assign the variable as salary equal to none means you have to find the type of this variable name. Type. Then type of salary, you get the output as none. So the output of type of salary. Your data type you have to find. Then we get the output as none. You get the output in the format of none. Next literal is, next one is next is operators in Python. Operators that we already see. Specific. Operators means special symbols that perform specific operations in a variable applied on a variable. That is, we can see that it performs some specific operations into a program. Specific operations. Many operators are seen in a Python. That is arithmetic operator, identity operators, membership operators, many relationship operators we can see. That means you have to perform some specific operations in your Python program. Here we can see that 10 plus 25. We can see that plus is the operator here. This is an arithmetic operator. Plus is an arithmetic operator. These 10 and 25 is considered as operands. 10 and 25, that values are considered as operands. Operand plus, that means operator. Operand, operator, operand. Okay, plus is the operator and 10 and 25 is considered as operands. 10 and 25 is considered as operands. Let's see, there are many types of operators in Python. That is arithmetic operators. That means plus, minus, division, raise to and floor division is termed as arithmetic operators, and relation operators means less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to are relationship operators, relational operators. Identity operators means is or is not operators. Membership means in or not in operators. And last is logical. Logical operators means and or not are logical operators. It's perform a specific task. Operators perform a specific task between operands is called as operators. Next is punctuators. Punctuators means what? This is also a token. Last token is punctuators. Punctuators means what? Symbols. Punctuators are the symbols used in a program. Okay, next token and the last token is punctuators. That means symbols, different kinds of symbols used in a Python programs. For organizing a sentence, we use these symbols that are used in a programming language. To organize the sentence structure, we use these punctuators. That means symbols. We already seen in an example. Punctuators means symbols, different types of symbols that can be used in Python programming except dollar and a question mark. In Python does not support this two symbols, that is dollar and a question mark does not support as punctuators in your program. All other symbols are to be included in your program, but dollar symbol and a question mark is not included as a punctuators in your program. Okay, understand? These are the main tokens in a Python programs. Tokens means individual smallest unit in a program, or lexical unit means also same as token. Lexical and tokens are same. Different types of tokens we have seen, that is keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators are the different types of tokens. Okay, did you understand these things? Okay, shall I wind up? Okay, now I am winding my section. Thank you all.